The College Basketball Experience Preview and Picks Episode 4, Wednesday, December 7th, on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. WynnBET's now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBET is what you need to win. Sign up today, bet $100, get a $100 free bet at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/wynnbet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today.
This is Martin Cleese, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it rock.
Yes. Woo-wee. Welcome to the College Basketball Experience Preview and Picks episode for Wednesday, December 7th. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink and I don't have stress and I'm healthy.
Great slate of games. I just kind of ate shit on a decent amount here. Did not have a winning night. But that's why we're here. We're going back to the chalkboard here. We're going to mirror, life's about adjustments. You don't just sit back, all right? When you're failing in one area, you got to look at that and correct what you're doing wrong and move forward. And what does Stallone say? That's how winning's done, right? Well, this is how winning's going to happen, all right? I am joined by my co-host. Give it up for former video coordinator for Bob Huggins at West Virginia and Frank Martin at it's South Carolina, but now he's at UMass. Host of the NFL Gambling Podcast, host of the Ryan and Rush Show. Give it up for Ryan McIntyre. How you doing, man?
Doing good, Colby. How about yourself?
I mean, I would be doing a little bit better if Texas wasn't just didn't fold up like a lawn chair.
Yeah.
That one really bothered me. And, I feel like we were on the right side of that. But also, I'll go through. I was shocked, and I'm curious because I didn't get eyes on it. Something happened, I feel like, in that South Dakota State-Montana game because that line went from South Dakota State being like a 3-point favorite or 3.5-point favorite to them being a 3-point dog. And then they got trucked by 25. So I don't know what happened. I didn't watch the game. I'm assuming someone didn't play. For it to switch, for the line to drop that big, I'm assuming someone didn't play.
Yeah, no, they had somebody out. I didn't check who it was, but I knew we were already fucked because we got it at -2.5, then they were 2.5-point dogs. So I was like, oh no, something's up in the waters up there in Montana. Yeah,
and out the gate. I didn't have a good day. I almost pulled back to make it a 500 day, but Pacific lost. I ate shit with South Dakota against Air Force. The Air Force won by 21. I don't understand it. Butler came through for me. I added a nice lock that hit from this morning. With Vermont was. I added Vermont again as we didn't have that line last night against Dartmouth, and that hit. But, at the end of the day, the loss from South Dakota and South Dakota State no longer want to go to the Dakotas, all right? You can take your fucking bike week or whatever they call that thing and shove it up your ass. No, I'm joking. But there were some – East Carolina just got dominated the whole game. They just didn't show up. That was more of a heart play, but I was happy to see Toledo hit for me. Toledo did hit for me. I was on the right side of some other games. I feel like I actually had a decent night from picking every game, but I was on Iona. I was on LaSalle. I was on, so I was on Coppin State with the points. So I feel like I actually just had a decent night picking every game, but just kind of sucked ass on my picks, on my locks, on my bets. So how about yourself?
I had a winning night, actually. Went 7-5. I added some late ones that were good for me. Idaho, the Vandals came through. They're rolling all of a sudden, the Vandals out there in Idaho. Also added Vermont with you, got in on that with you and NC Nick, -5. Never in doubt there. Dartmouth's awful. And there was one other that I added. Not seeing it, but JMU Dukes, and we'll get to them. Shout out to Patty C.
They were neck and neck right there.
It was a hell of a game.
Neck and neck right there, man. I got to watch that game. Yeah, let's just do some game ball action here. Let's do some. I mean, we have a pretty big slate, so I'm not going to go through every fucking game here. But I will say, I guess the biggest, before we do game balls, I guess we'll key in on the biggest games of the night.
Yeah.
Texas, I thought, gave away that game, and I think that might hurt them come March, seeding wise.
Yeah, no, I agree. Boy, they looked they got very, very conservative offensively down the stretch. Kind of everybody looking at one another. Is it my turn? Is it your turn? I had not seen that version of Texas yet, but this is also why they've played only home games up to this point. So a little adversity hit tonight, and they shrunk in the big moment.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we had a 7-point lead, maybe 2-3 minutes left, something like that.
Yeah,
lost the game.
Find a way to close that out.
Pretty brutal. I want to touch base on Virginia. This is what a good team does. Well, nights where they get, might have been looking past that game, but no, they find a way to get it done. Although I guess you could say a little bit of some red flags because JMU is not a power, but I'll be honest. Me and NC Nick were watching this game together, and I sit there or we were both sitting there saying, James Madison's going to be in the tournament. I get it. Troy and Southern Miss are in the Sun Belt, and I think the Sun Belt and even Marshall adding some of these schools, the Sun Belt's got a lot better at basketball, but I kind of think JMU is a tournament caliber team that could really give some team, I could see them being a 14, 15 seed, giving some teams some problems. But yeah, Tony Bennett got it done. What'd you make of that game?
I thought JMU, I'm with you. I think JMU is going to be an NCAA tournament team. And Virginia didn't play well, but you're right. I mean, championship teams, they're not going to play well every single night. They're still undefeated. They found a way to win a game against a pesky JMU Duke team. So shout out to Tony Bennett. It was a revenge game as well for him.
Yeah. They found a way to get it done. For a minute, I actually thought they might lose the game. Probably about 4 minutes left. I was like, whoa. What about Duke, Iowa? I got eyes on this one. I pretty much watched the whole game. The Blue Devils were kind of rolling. I see Trevor in the chat. Shout out to the chat. Caden saying Duke's starting to click. Trevor saying, is it Duke clicking or is Iowa bad? I think it's Duke clicking. Maybe you can make a case that Iowa could be a little overrated, but I still think it's Duke. What'd you make of that game?
I thought Duke was awesome. Their young guys are starting to mesh. I think Shire's doing a good job so far. Obviously, they took the loss, early in the year to Kansas, but that was a veteran Kansas team. I think they've gotten light years better, and they're getting healthier, like Nick talked about last night on the preview for the game tonight.
Yeah, they really are, man. They really are. All right, well, let's give out some game balls. I feel like those were the biggest games on the slate. I will say, to me, the first game ball that I will think, or that I was thinking, would be, I'll be honest, it's probably I'll say Wisconsin. Getting Maryland, we were on the right side of taking Wisconsin. The Badgers continue to be ahead of schedule. I know that, they had a loss, what was it, a couple days ago, or no, like a week ago, I feel like, but they bounced back with a couple key wins with the Marquette win and now the Maryland win after that tough loss to Wake. So that'll be my first game ball. Where are you going with your game ball, your first game ball here?
I'm going to go up to New York, and I'm going to go with Slick Rick Pitino getting it done over St. Louis by 20 in a revenge angle. I mean, they beat their ass. Never in doubt. Big win for the Gales. They're going to be really good. I think this is a NCAA tournament team for Rick Pitino's squad here.
I agree. I mean, that one, I picked that one, but I didn't feel great about that. But wow, that was an impressive. That was a dominating performance, and yeah. Well, second game ball. I will stay in the Big Ten, and I think we got to just talk about the Fighting Illini because I think that's a win that will matter in March. For seeding, I expect both these teams to be in the tournament with ease, but for seeding, that could really mean something come March.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give the Fighting Illini. They battled back. They were down. I kind of don't think they were the best team, the better team in this matchup, but they got it done. And shout out to them. So I think that's my second game ball there. How about you? So your second game ball.
I'm going to go to the game that literally just ended, and we touched on it already. I'm going to go to John Shire and the Duke Blue Devils. They seem to be getting better and better. They're young. They're extremely talented. Obviously, we all know their only losses are to Kansas and Duke. And I feel like they're hitting their stride going into ACC play.
Yeah. I mean, and we talked about it a little bit on last night's pod of like out of the Blue Bloods, they kind of seem like they're ahead of the pack. Maybe you can make a case for Arizona. I know Patty C was lobbying that they're in the blue blood range too. So, my third and final game ball. I'm actually going to go to Stillwater. I was on Sam Houston State. I even took Sam Houston State on the money line, thinking this would be a game, and Oklahoma State kind of put it on them. So 14-point win at home. I know you're taking on a mid-major. You should win this game. But it was the style and the way that they did it that was impressive. So I'm going to go to the Cowboys of Oklahoma State as my third and final game ball. How about yourself? Your final game ball, where are you going?
You just gave out one that we missed out on. I'm going to give out one we missed out on, and we took the Jackrabbits. I'm going to take the Montana Grizzlies, beating the Jackrabbits by 25. Shout out to the Grizz. Statement win there tonight.
Super statement win. That was that's probably the lock I felt best about.
Same.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Yeah. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say there, but let's hop into today's action because we have an absolutely loaded slate here. So where can I give us? Let's go with let's just go with a little bounce back spot for Pick Dundee here, but Moneyline Mac's going to keep the money rolling in as we talk college basketball for December 7th. We start the slate with there is a bullshit game early in the day. Warren Wilson and UNC Asheville. No line.
You should go to it.
I should go to it. I think it's a couple hours away, but Michigan State heads into Penn State. This game is very interesting. I'm seeing at the moment the line is 4. 4 points. Penn State is favored by 4. I did this on the SGP show, and I just look, Michigan State. This is probably more important for Michigan State because they're 0-1 in Big Ten play after getting upset by Northwestern, but they still have Malik Hall out. They're sitting there at 5-4. They've played an incredibly tough schedule, but Penn State kind of looks like the better team, I think, right now. I get it. They're, Penn State 6-2 coming off of a double overtime loss to Clemson. They're number 1 in the nation in 3-point field goals, 14th in the nation in free throw shooting. But meanwhile, uncharacteristically, Michigan State is 268th in defense. I think some of that is the ridiculously tough schedule. Like if you would have had games where they were playing Warren Wilson or something, I feel like they would have been where, it's tough to look into all the analytics right now. But with Penn State's guard play of Pickett and Lundy, I'm gonna ride the Nittany Lions at home. What are you doing?
Yeah, this was one of the tougher games to pick, I think. I looked back and last year when they played in Happy Valley, Penn State did beat them by 4 as well. But you kind of touched on it. This is kind of a desperation spot for not desperation, but the Spartans need to get back on track. I mean, they've lost 2 in a row. They're 5-4 overall. They're 0-1 in Big Ten play, most importantly. So I'm going to lean to Sparty. I think this is kind of like Syracuse at Notre Dame on Saturday. So if you're going to take an angle, just take Sparty on the money line.
Yeah, I can see that.
This is a game, though. I'm with you. This is a game.
Yeah. Well, after that, we have Siena, the St. Bernards, are heading to Washington, D.C. to take on Georgetown. They're giving away free tickets. You see this? Not to students.
Should be.
Not to students, to anyone. So if you're in the D.C. area, if you want to watch some shitty basketball, no, actually, you know what? Siena's not bad. You look at Siena's resume. They got a win against Florida State, win against Seton Hall. Can they add Georgetown to that list?
Why not?
Perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah, why not? I mean, this is a Fade Georgetown podcast. Yeah, I'll take Siena. Take it on the money line.
They're getting 5.5. The money line's plus 200. What it was? Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we lock this?
Yeah, let's lock it up, man. Keep fading Pat Ewing.
I think you're right. I really believe that you are right. Where's my music? St. Bernard's, baby. Let's go. Quality dogs. All right, moving along. We got DePaul. This is the David Jones match. Former DePaul Blue Demon transfers to St. John's. Apparently the coach was not anticipating that. And now he's the leading scorer at St. John's. So DePaul, they have Nick Njenga out for them this game. It seems like he's out for a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I mean, St. John's kind of been a great story. They're 8-1, 12th in the nation in rebounding, 58th in defense. Schedule hasn't been brutal, but meanwhile, DePaul, hey, you know what? I know Loyola's down, but DePaul should celebrate because they did beat their crosstown team that's had a ton of success lately. Javon Johnson's been playing big for them. The line, I'm seeing 8.5 right now, 4. So St. John's favored by 8.5. I'm going to take a shot on the Blue Demons. This game might be a little personal to them with the David Jones effect. I think they're going to cover this in Queens. What are you doing here?
Yeah, no, I'm with you here. I'm going to take DePaul as well. You mentioned it. David Jones pulls a Benedict and transfers in the league over to St. John's. And DePaul, I think, also has been competitive. You mentioned it. Back-to-back wins in overtime. I also think St. John's is bound to lay an egg at home as well. So I think this is a ball game.
I do too. Jacksonville is heading into VCU. These games are all great, by the way.
This is sneaky good.
The first 4 games, I'm interested to see if Siena can beat Georgetown. The Michigan State, Penn State game, I think, big. DePaul, St. John's, big. And then this is like a low-key good game here. Jacksonville, I think, is better than what people think. They're heading into VCU. Ace Baldwin's back and healthy for the Rams there. I'm getting 7.5 points, though. I think Jacksonville is kind of like a junior version of VCU.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're going to be able to hang around. They'll hang around enough to cover the 7.5. Give me VCU by 4. What are you doing here?
I went back and forth on this one as well. I'm going to lean to VCU just with Ace Baldwin back in the Siegel Center. I think they'll get this done, although I do like this Dolphin team under Jordan Mincy.
Yeah. Then we have, I really believe their styles are similar. The way they play the game is similar. That's why I think I'm going with the points there. We got the Battle of Delaware tomorrow. Delaware State catching 18.5 at Delaware. Oh man, I don't feel great laying 18.5 points. You know what? This was a 11-point game a year ago, and Delaware made the NCAA tournament a year ago. I don't know that this Delaware team's as good as last year's team. I'll take the 18.5 with State. What are you doing here?
Yeah, no, I'm going to join you. I'm taking the points. Too many points to lay with Delaware. This is a still in-state little brother, big brother rivalry.
Yeah, and then, okay, I found my number 1 lock of the day. Quinnipiac is heading to Holy Cross.
I knew you were going to lock this one up.
Dude, Quinnipiac's coming off of a loss, too. This is the spot to catch them. This is a good team. They're laying only 10.5 at Holy Cross. Lock of the century. Let's go. Dude, they're going to win by 30. What are you doing here?
They're coming off back-to-back losses by combined 6 points. Meanwhile, Holy Cross is coming off a win. I'm with you. Let's lock up Quinnipiac.
That's the play. I'm going heavy on that one. Hofstra is heading to Purdue. This line has jumped up some since when it opened. Speedy Claxton and the Pride are 6-3 coming into we're coming off an overtime loss to George Mason. Purdue, meanwhile, undefeated. They got some big games on deck. Zach Edey having a great season. 23 points per game, I feel like. This is a contrast in styles, man. Hofstra goes four guards, essentially play small ball. That's why they're 341st in rebounding. I get it. Purdue's a great rebounding team, but I actually think that Speedy Claxton might be able to take advantage of some of their quickness. Give me the points and the Pride. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to take Hofstra as well. And looking at what Purdue, they're in the middle of coming off a Big Ten game, and they got Big Ten play on deck as well. Hofstra is a feisty team under Speedy Claxton as well, so maybe kind of a look-ahead spot for Purdue. They've been rolling, but I'll take the points.
Yeah, let's go. Cornell, the Big Red, 7-1. They are 2 points away from being, or 3 points away from being undefeated
on opening day.
Yeah, and they're second in the nation in three-point shooting, third in the nation in assists, 72nd in the nation in defense. Do we take the Big Red getting 16 in Miami, in Coral Gables, taking on Jimmy Larinaga? I'm going to take the 16. Miami, I always feel like when they're playing these mid-majors, you take the points, anything like above 14 when taking on Miami. So I'm going to take Cornell. You know, maybe I eat shit on this, or maybe Miami's focused on this because Cornell's record, but I just think they can hang tough with them a little bit. What are you doing here?
I think this is a great time to take these bigger numbers with the low majors when the high majors are in between, coming off a conference game, and they got a conference game on deck. They got finals this week. Not that everybody's going to class or anything, but it is a distraction week. So I'm with you. I like Cornell. We'll take the Big Red and the points.
Let's go. Navy going into Morgantown, taking on your boys. Navy's catching 18. I'm taking the 18, buddy. West Virginia wins by 15. Give me the 18 in the midshipman. What are you doing here?
So was the Navy loss to VMI not one of the more puzzling losses? Because VMI's been awful this year, and Navy's good. But this is Bob Huggins off a loss. I'll ride my Mountaineers here.
Oh,
shocker!
I was testing him there.
Hey, you know what? I'm an American. You know, I got to talk up the Army and Navy. So, but I'll take my Mountaineers too.
There you go. William and Mary is heading to ODU. William and Mary, beat the Richmond Spiders the other night. Talking about
that one out.
Maybe
it's easy to see a tide turn.
They're catching 11 at ODU. I'll take it. I don't want to lay 11 with ODU. What are you doing here?
Is this a letdown spot for William and Mary coming off the big win over Richmond?
For sure.
Yeah, no, that's my logic. I'll lay the points with ODU.
Boston is heading into South Bend. The Terriers are catching 14.5 in South Bend. I'll take the points. Notre Dame wins by 10. What are you doing here?
Yeah, no, we've seen this over and over with Notre Dame so far this year. They didn't cover against Radford, Youngstown, Southern Indiana, Lipscomb, Bowling Green. They don't cover against anybody, especially these lower major teams. So, yeah, I'll take the points.
Loyola Maryland's heading into Hampton. It's going to be tough. Loyola Maryland's laying 2. Hampton hit for me the other night. However, I think Loyola's the better team here. I'm going to lay the 2. What are you doing here?
I'm going to take Hampton. I think Hampton's going to win this game. But I can't
bet
it. No, I don't.
I don't feel good about it.
No, I feel like Hampton's burned you a couple times too.
Yeah, luckily I hit on them the last time we played them, but still, I don't feel great about it. Brown is heading into Rhode Island. Both these schools located in Rhode Island. Brown's catching 6.5. Give me my Bears, cocaine Bears till we die. Brown can win this game, dude. Give me the 6.5. What are you doing here?
I'm going to join you. Like you said, I didn't feel good about the last one, but I feel great about the Brown cocaine Bears. Upset City.
Let's go. Thought about locking up this one. Penn is taking on Nova. Nova is laying 13.5 points, man. 13.5 points. Do we lay the big number? I'm laying it. I'm actually laying it because they got one of their guys. So essentially, Villanova was obviously without Justin Moore for a long time. They were also without their top recruit, Cam Whitmore. He came back in the Oklahoma game. I think that's the difference. I'm laying the points with the Wildcats. What are you doing here?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna lay the points as well. Villanova came for me over the weekend. I think they're slowly getting better. They're still not Villanova yet, but I'll lay the points here in this situation.
Yeah. Cleveland State, the Vikings heading into upstate New York or Bonaventure, New York, take on St. Bonaventure. This game's awesome. Cleveland State's getting 7.5 points. I'm on the Vikings to row their way in there and cover the 7.5. What are you doing here, buddy?
I'm going to lean to the Bonnies. I think they're tough at home. They're coming off a loss to Buffalo, bounce back spot. I'm not going to bet this one, though. Good game, though.
I'm keeping the locks flowing. I feel it. Something in the air tonight, like Phil
Collins. In that Carolina water.
It's true. That's true. Florida Gulf Coast. This line has just gone up since earlier today when I recorded. They're catching 9 at Florida Atlantic. 9's too much, man. Give me Gulf Coast, Dunk City, +9. Sprinkle some on the money line. What are you doing here? Lock it up.
Yeah, no, I'm going to come join you here. Let's go, Gulf Coast. Sprinkle some on the money line.
Let's go. Pat Chambers.
Yep.
He knows what he's doing. He's covering this thing. Might even win it outright. Sacred Heart is at Fairfield. Fairfield's laying 7.5. You know what? I'm actually going to lay. I'm going to lay the 7.5. I don't feel great about it. Kind of think Sacred Heart's dog shit. What are you doing here?
Same. Yeah, no, I'll lay the points here. Don't feel great about it, like you said.
The Moving Company, Ryder. Bring your moving quilt. They are heading to Stonehill. They're laying 2.5. Give me the Moving Company to bounce back to 500. What are you doing here?
Wrong team favorite. I'm locking up Stonehill. Let's go.
Oh.
My
Lock
team.
it up, Stonehill.
Skyhawks.
You might hit on this. Eastern Kentucky's catching 26.5 points in Knoxville.
Ooh.
That's too many points. It's too many points.
I agree. I'm with you. I'll take EKU.
Yeah, I'm not betting, but give me EKU. Alabama State's taking on North Alabama, man. I mean, Alabama State's 1-7. North Bama's laying 7.5. Last time they played, North Alabama won by 12. That was last year. But I mean, thought about locking this, but I'm not. Give me North Alabama, though. What are you doing here?
I'm going to lock up the lines. Let's go.
Oh. The Lions have been treating Moneyline Mac well. See the chat rolling along. Matty Ice in there. Shout out to Matty Ice. Western Carolina is heading to Davidson. I mean, what am I missing here?
This is Davidson off a loss, too.
That's a gigantic number. I'm thinking about taking Western Carolina, though. I'm not gonna lock it. Get the SGPN app. It's free in the App Store and Google Play Store. I might bet this by the time tomorrow. I think if I was setting this line, it'd be at Davidson -8.5, 9. It's at 16.5 right now. So give me the Catamounts. But what are you doing here?
I'm I'm going to lean Davidson. I mean, they've lost their last 2 games by combined 4 points. Come back home, get right spot. Western Carolina, looking at them, they lost 3 in a row. I'll lean to the Wildcats, although it is a big number.
Yeah. NJIT just heading to West Point to take on Army. Army is laid 8.5. Give me NJIT. I know they suck, but they're covering 8.5. Give me the Highlanders. What are you doing here?
Interesting game here. NJIT 1-7. I'm going to lean to the Black Knights. I think they've been playing better. They beat Wagner, and they beat U.S. Merchant Marine.
Oh, man. It sounds
I
like a
love these
Dolph
names.
Lundgren movie. Robert Morris heading to Central Michigan. This is a tough one.
Yeah.
But you know what? I was impressed with Robert Morris last week.
He beat the shit out of Wright State.
CMU is a 2.5-point favorite. Give me the Colonials and Robert Morris plus the points. Sprinkle it on the money line. What are you doing here?
Yeah, no, Robert Morris was beating Wright State while Central Michigan was beating Alma. I'll lean to Robert Morris. Take it on the money line.
Yeah. Oh, I see one that I like. Colgate is laying 9 at Binghamton. Oh, man.
Golf course.
No one hits the 12th hole. All right. The way that the Raiders of Colgate will, because I am taking Colgate. No. Fringe lock. Check the picks page.
Picks page. I like it.
I just feel like Colgate hasn't been as good as other years. I feel pretty damn good about it. It's pretty close to being a lock here. What are you doing?
I lean to Colgate as well. I almost locked it. I do think that they're going to be hitting darts into that 18th green at the Binghamton golf course.
Eastern Michigan. Oh, God. No.
Yeah.
No. They're heading to Normal, Illinois.
Normal. It's normal there.
Illinois State is laying 6.
Oh, God.
Well, look, normal Eastern Michigan sucks ass because we've lost a ton of money on Eastern Michigan. Oh, man. I'm not betting it. But give me Eastern Michigan plus 6. What are you doing?
You know, it's crazy. Illinois State just beat Belmont. I'll take Illinois State just because I'm tired of talking about Eastern Michigan.
Yeah.
Shout out to the chat. Jason said Eastern Michigan pick coming from Colby Watch.
Yeah, I'm not betting this one, though. The other ones I was betting, man. So just, hey, I will pick this one and hope that the talent actually, can perform on the way it should. Detroit is heading to Tulsa. Tulsa's laying 3.5. I'll take Detroit plus the points. What are you doing here?
Detroit's also kind of like Eastern Michigan. You can't figure this team out either. It's every other game.
It's really fucked the whole state of Michigan. Sorry, Noah.
Yes.
Oakland has fucked me. Eastern Michigan's fucked me. Detroit, and I want to even say like the other directional school. I feel like Western Michigan's burned me a couple times. It's all these schools. What are you doing? What are you doing in that game though?
But looking at it, this is the game that they bounce back. I think they cover against Tulsa. I think they have a chance to win it outright.
I agree.
Tulsa hasn't done anything.
Yeah. Omaha is at Drake. Drake is laying 19. Give me the 19 in Omaha. What are you doing here?
I'm gonna lay the points. I actually like the Drake team, and I mean Omaha. They haven't done much. Over 300 in the Ken Palm and the net ranking, so I'll lean to Drake here.
Can the chat find me a line on IPFW Southeast Missouri State, because that's a good game and I don't see the line right now. If you can, we'd appreciate it. Campbell's. Yeah, the soup. Campbell's Chunky Soup heading to Evansville Elementary School. Campbell's laying 2.5. I got no idea. This is one of the harder ones. Give me Campbell. Campbell's been recruiting at a better level than Evansville lately, but I don't feel good about this one. What are you doing?
I'll take the travel spot. I'll take Evansville here.
I can see it.
Fort Wayne -1.5.
That's a good game. IPFW -1.5 at Southeast Missouri State. You know what? I'll take Southeast Missouri State to get this one.
I'm with you, but I'm not going to lock this just because I think this comes down to the last possession of the game. Great game.
Yeah, it's a really good game. Dayton is at Virginia Tech. This is a game too. Dayton's catching 7.5. Letdown spot for the Hokies after the Tar Heels.
I thought about that, and they have Oklahoma State on deck this weekend. I kind of like Dayton.
Me too. I'm taking the Flyers and the points. Let's go.
Yeah.
I actually thought about betting this.
Yeah, no, let's lock it. Let's go, Dayton. Let's go Flyers.
Let's go. They beat them last year. They're going to beat them again. Sprinkle some on the money line.
Shout out to Kramer.
Yeah. Nichols is at Texas Tech. Nichols is getting 20.5. Oh, man. I'm going to lay the 20.5 with Texas Tech, but I don't. No, give me the points, actually. Texas Tech struggled to score this year. What are you doing?
I'm going to take the points as well. Nichols is actually feisty out of the Southland under Austin Klotch, the head coach there. So I'm going to take the points here.
Yeah. Ball State heading to Eastern Illinois. Ball State's laying 11.5. Give me. I just got to review what Eastern Illinois has done lately.
They're atrocious.
Oh, they lost. Yeah, you're right. Lay the points. Lay the points with the Cardinal. Are you doing the same?
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about locking this, to be honest, with Ball State. Ball State's not horrible. I mean, Eastern Illinois hasn't done anything. They're coming off a big 50-point win over Blackburn, though. I'll lay the big number and I'll lock it up. Ball State.
Ooh, Ball State minus 11.5. Not a problem for Moneyline Mac, folks. Let's fucking go.
Blackburn. How about that one? We haven't heard of that. I haven't heard of that school yet. So add them to our tournament.
Where the fuck is that located? That's got to be somewhere in Indiana or something, right? Or in the Midwest, Illinois, perhaps.
In a cornfield somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, just Blackburn. I don't know. But this game's awesome. Indiana State taking on Southern Illinois. This is a really good game. Southern Illinois is laying 4. I'm taking Indiana State, the Sycamores. Give me the 4 points. I think Indiana State can win this game outright, actually. I think it's a game. I hope I can get eyes on this one tomorrow. How about what are you doing here?
I'm with you. The Salukis and Sycamores out of the Missouri Valley. I think this might be the most underrated game of the night. As for betting it, I'm not going to bet it, but I'm gonna lean to the Salukis. They're coming off the loss to St. Louis, bounce back spot. But I like both these teams though.
Yeah. Nebraska, Indiana, letdown spot. The greatest letdown spot of the night, probably. Nebraska beat Creighton. I feel like Fred Hoiberg just got extended without us even knowing. Meanwhile, Indiana loses at Rutgers. Bounce back spot. Indiana's laying 12. I'm going to lay the points. I think they're going to win by like 17. I know Nebraska looks good.
Yeah.
I just think this place is a different animal. What are you doing here?
You know, I'm going to take Nebraska to ride the momentum. I know Indiana's coming off the loss, but they got Arizona on deck. And I also just think this Nebraska team is a little bit improved. I think they can keep it around 9 or 10 points.
All right. Manhattan is heading to Providence, taking on Ed Cooley's bunch. They're catching 18. Manhattan's been a covering machine this year. I read that ATS number earlier today. They're like, I think they've only lost once. I'm taking the points in Manhattan. What do you do? I thought about betting this. This might be bet by me tomorrow. It's too many points. What are you doing?
I mean, Providence only beat Columbia by 14. Yeah, I'm taking Manhattan.
Should we bet
and this? Merrimack. Yeah, let's lock it up. Let's go Manhattan.
Give me that Manhattan clam chowder. Let's go.
I'll have a Manhattan.
Oh, yeah. I'll drink a Manhattan. I'll have some Manhattan clam chowder, and I'll watch fucking Jason Takes Manhattan. It's the first terrible, ridiculous movie. Ridiculous. I mean, like the other ones weren't, but there's like a scene where he boxes a guy and his head goes flying off like a rooftop. Pretty ridiculous movie. Absolutely great cinema. Pitt is traveling to Nashville to take on Vanderbilt. Little Duke Carolina matchup. Capel against Stackhouse. Remember, they used to go at it.
Yeah, this was a battle.
This is the one that smells to me. Why is Vanderbilt a 4-point favorite? I don't understand it. They're 500. Meanwhile, Pitt's red hot. It smells, and I've ate shit on a lot of the games that smell, but I am fucking hard-headed. Give me the Pitt Panthers. Eat tits Pitt. Or lick tits Pitt. I don't know. You gotta say something. What are you doing here?
Let's have a lock battle. I'll lock up Vandy. Eat shit Pitt.
Dude, why do I feel like you're going to hit this because of
line reads?
Because of the line. For just so you know, folks, we're 2-3 on the lock battle front. I have a chance to go 500 here if Jeff Capel can just somehow win this game or stay within 4 points. Maybe the game of the night. UConn traveling to Gainesville. Bring your Mountain Dew. I mean, I always felt like it was pretty ridiculous that we got rid of the show cops. Like, I get it. We had dirty cops. Like there's not any other countries that have a ton of dirty cops. But I always felt like your chances of watching a Cops episode in the state of Florida were like 97% chance. If you turn on Cops, it's like a 3%. No, I'll say it like this. 96% chance it's in somewhere in Florida, 3% chance somewhere in Vegas, and 1% chance random. But a lot of them were in Gainesville, Florida. UConn's laying 4.5. This line smells to me too, tell you the truth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Taking UConn, I'm not betting it. What are you doing here?
I'm locking up the Gators. It's a first road game for the Huskies. That place is going to be going bonkers. This is a ball game.
Castleton against Sanogo.
Yeah, I think you can get Sanogo in foul trouble, drag him away from the rim. I think this game comes right down the wire, and I think Florida has a chance to win it.
The line makes no sense. I will not bet this one. I guarantee you I will not bet this one. Oh, man, we got a beautiful game going on at the Grand Canyon. All right. I love this university because it makes no sense. It's an online university that they call themselves Grand Canyon, and they're like 3 hours away from the fucking Grand Canyon. But yet they're called the Antelopes, which I think is cool, right?
Yeah.
Then they have a fucking killer home court environment. So they're like the ultimate strangest team in college basketball, but I enjoy them. I'm glad they're there. They're laying 4 against Loyola Marymount. Loyola Marymount struggled on the road this year. This place gets lit. I'm locking up Grand Canyon -4. Sorry, Australian mullet guy. What's my guy's name? Leia Pepe, greatest player in college basketball.
Kelly Leia Pepe. Yep.
Yeah, Charles. I like to call him Charles Barkley 2.0. What are you doing here?
I'm going to lean to the Antelopes, but I'm not going to lock this one.
Getting soft. Northern Kentucky. This is a good game here. Northern Kentucky heading to Pullman, Washington to take on the Cougars. Washington State's laying 11.5. Who do you think you are to lay 11.5? Give me Northern Kentucky. Should we bet this?
Yes. Washington State just burned us. Yes, let's lock up the North.
Give me the Norse plus 11.5. Let's go.
The Pac-12 sucks in these games where they lay the big numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, Northern Kentucky's a quality opponent too.
Yep.
Utah Valley taking on BYU. These schools are separated by like a mile. I feel like I've been right around this campus, or I've made the drive where I've passed both schools within like a 10-minute stretch. So there is a little brother angle here. Valley's catching 9. However, BYU had an embarrassing loss to South Dakota. I think BYU bounces back. I'm laying the 9 against Valley. What are you doing?
Yeah, tough game here. I'm going to take the points. I think this is a good game.
Next game that just absolutely reeks. Arizona State is laying 6 against SMU. I have watched SMU twice.
They're awful.
Why is this the line?
Because SMU is going to win. I'm locking up SMU plus 6.
I'm interested
on the money line.
You're doing this with all your locks. I'm interested to see how you perform here tomorrow because you're hitting all 3 that stink.
Yes.
And I kind of like the logic here.
Close your eyes special, as they say on the main show.
Moneyline Mac locking up SMU. Maybe that's what we do. The Courtney Love vagina parlay.
Hey, you know who?
Yeah.
You know who Arizona State has next?
Who's that?
Creighton.
Look ahead spot.
Yep, coming off big Pac-12 win, so kind of a sandwich spot here. I'll take the Mustangs.
But that's an interesting parlay we could have here. I mean, for
Yes.
you could the Courtney Love vagina parlay.
Yep.
And you do what?
SMU, Florida.
Yeah, SMU, Florida. What was the and Vandy?
Vandy, yeah. That is a gross. It's beautiful though.
That's never been said about Courtney Love in her life. Towson heading to Clemson. This game's pretty fucking awesome. Towson catching 7 at Clemson. I'm taking Towson plus 7. I thought about betting this. I might bet this by tomorrow morning. I think Towson can give him a game. What are you doing here?
Yeah, although Clemson has been sneakily impressive as of late, but I'm going to lean to Towson, probably the favorite in the CAA.
New Mexico State's heading to Santa Clara. Have you seen this ridiculous story going on right now?
Where they kept the gun?
This is one of the most unbelievable stories I feel like in sports that I've ever seen.
Yes.
So let me get this straight. One of your own players, whether it was self-defense or not, brings you an iPad and a gun that was involved in a murder, and you do not turn it into the police.
Yeah,
I mean, there was the article I read had the police with their lights on trying to get to the bus that was en route to a game. And they ended up pulling over the bus, and then they were able to search their hotel room, and I believe in Albuquerque, and found the gun involved in a murder in an assistant's room in a towel. I mean, what the fuck is going on? I mean, this is
wild.
It's absolutely wild. But you know what? I have a theory. Some are gonna knock it. Some are gonna knock it. Where there's crime, comes wins.
All right.
It. Give me New Mexico State plus the 7 on the road, even though it sounds like that whole staff. I mean, that's what's crazy is think about this too. It's
loyalty.
Well, if it's self-defense, which it sounds like it might be, even though I don't know if he owns that gun. I don't know if it's registered to him. The coach, by hiding it, could face some serious jail time. I mean, this is a ridiculous story. But give me the I have this logic all the time. It normally hits for me here. Give me New Mexico State plus 7. Sprinkle some on the money line. What are you doing here?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I still think I actually like New Mexico State's team. I know they got a shitload of distractions with year one under Greg Heyer. Chris Jans leaves and it all goes to shit, I guess, in La Cruces in New Mexico. But I'll take New Mexico here, or New Mexico State here.
Yeah, I might even lock that one up. Get the SGPN app, folks. Cal State Northridge is heading to Fresno. Fresno's laying 13.5. It's a big number. I do think Fresno's a lot better, but I think they might be a little bit asleep at the wheel here. Give me Northridge plus the points. You?
Yeah, I'm going to take Northridge as well.
Weber State is heading to Cal Baptist. Weber State hasn't been that good this year. Cal Baptist laying 10. I'm going to lay the 10. This place gets lit. What are you doing here?
Yeah, no, I like Cal Baptist. I've watched them a couple times. The Lancers, they beat Washington. They almost beat Minnesota. I'll lay the points as well.
Hawaii. It's a shame they're not on the island because they're going to Vegas. UNLV's laying 7.5 points against Hawaii. I think UNLV wins by double digits in Vegas. Let's go. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to lock up the Rebels. They've been impressive, undefeated so far this year.
Yeah, let's go. Missouri State heads to St. Mary's. Missouri State's catching 13. Missouri State hasn't been as good as I thought they would be. St. Mary's bounce back spot. I'm laying the 13 with St. Mary's. What are you doing here?
I'm going to lay the points.
Eastern Washington. Uh-oh, this is a big-time game here. It's heading to Berkeley. You guys ready to drop acid? Bring your deodorant. This is on the Pac-12 network, too. Bring your fucking aluminum foil. Hook this thing up to break out the bunny ears. Try to get reception because you're not going to be able to find this fucking game, even if you live in Oakland. Cal's laying 4.5. I'm taking Cal.
One?
This is it.
One?
I'm taking Cal. I've seen some signs of life.
Should
I'm
we
laying
lock
the
it?
4.5. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's go. They got to win one, right?
Let's do it. Lay the 4.5 with the Golden Bears. Old Spice and DMT. That should be a drink that they have up there. Oh man, no. Where's
Shout
Noah
out to the
Phoenix?
chat. Yeah, Noah Phoenix in it. Here we go. His game.
This is it. Denver heads into Sacramento, California, to take on the Hornets of Sacramento State. This game is interesting because Sacramento State, currently 3-5, they were projected to be a little bit better. Meanwhile, Denver 8-1. Will the Hornets have opportunity to? And believe it or not, to show how shitty Denver is, Sacramento State's a 4.5 point favorite. Dude, we're taking Denver.
Does this line reek?
Yes. Yes. They're 8-1. I get it. The schedule's not great, but give me Denver in the points, though. What are you doing?
I'm thinking Sacramento State. I'm considering locking this because, I guess some regression for the Pioneers is coming. Even Noah's against him. He said he's not locking it, but he likes the Pioneers here.
Oh, man. I don't know. I'm not touching that game, though. Merrimack is heading to San Francisco to take on the Dons. The Dons are laying 20. It's a big number. Give me Merrimack to cover that. Give me San Francisco by 16.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'll take Merrimack.
Cal State Fullerton's heading to L.A., to Los Angeles to take on Trojans. USC's laying 14. I'm taking Cal State Fullerton. I think this is a little brother. This is like a 30-minute drive outside of L.A. Give me Fullerton plus the points. What are you doing here?
Yeah, same. I'm taking the points. I mean, who is USC to be laying 14? We've seen it over and over again this year where they lay a big number and they lay an egg.
Yeah, 100%. All right, and that's our slate. My locks, by the way, don't forget, we have the Courtney Love Vagina Parlay Special by Moneyline Mac. My locks here are going to be Cal minus 4.5 against Eastern Washington. UNLV minus 7.5 against Hawaii. You know what? New Mexico State plus 7 at Santa Clara. I want some of that criminal. I want a criminal win.
I love it.
It's
for the brand.
You know, everyone's going to be fading them because of the story. Everyone's going to be fading them. That's why that line doesn't even make sense. Because the player's suspended, they're going to get up for their guy. I'm locking up Pitt plus 4 in Nashville. I'm locking up Grand Canyon minus 4 against Loyola in the desert. I'm locking up Washington. Or no, not Washington. I'm locking up Northern Kentucky plus 11.5 at Wazoo. I am locking up. I might lock up Manhattan. Did we lock up Manhattan? We did, didn't we?
Yes, at Providence.
That after the show before I forget. Give me Manhattan plus 18 in Rhode Island. I am also locking up Dayton plus 7.5 at Virginia Tech. I'm also locking up. Where are my other plays here? I'm going to lock up Cleveland State getting 7.5 at Bonaventure. I am also going to lock up Brown getting 6.5 at Rhode Island. I got a little Rhode Island special. How about that? A little Rhode Island parlay. Brown plus 6.5. And then Manhattan plus, what was that, 18 at Providence?
Yep, plus 18 at Providence.
Let's go. Parlay that thing. Other locks to close out the night. I am locking up Quinnipiac minus 10.5. That's my favorite play of the day. And Siena plus 5.5 and on the money line. And those are my locks. Fire away, Moneyline Mac.
Yeah, no, we got a good one here tomorrow night. We're going to lead off. We're going to take Siena plus 6.5 and sprinkle some on the money line at Georgetown. Continue to fade Pat Ewing. Quinnipiac minus 10.5 against another team we like to fade, Holy Cross. Brown plus 6.5. Sprinkle some on the money line at Rhode Island, like you said. Florida Gulf Coast in the Florida matchup plus 9.5 at Florida Atlantic. Sprinkle some on that money line as well. I'm going to take Stonehill as well, plus 2.5. North Alabama, minus 7.5. We're going to take Dayton, plus 7.5 at Virginia Tech in a letdown spot. I'm going to lay the points with Ball State at Eastern Illinois, minus 11.5. Manhattan, plus 18 at Providence. Northern Kentucky, plus 11.5 at Washington State. I'm also going to take UNLV Vegas, minus a 7, lay it against Hawaii. I'm going to take Cal as well, minus a 4.5 against Eastern Washington. And I'm adding this one right now. Sorry, Noah Beanick. I am adding Sacramento State, minus 4.5 against the Denver Pioneers. So that line reeks. And then we mentioned it, the Courtney Love Vagina Special. I think I saw it in the chat, 13-1. We're going to take – yeah, what's that?
That's what I'm saying. Love it right there, right?
Yeah, yes. We're going to take Vandy minus 4 against Pitt, each hit Pitt. We're going to take the Florida Gators plus 4.5 against the UConn Huskies. And we're going to take SMU plus 6 against the Arizona State Sun Devils.
Yeah, and look, I see the chat talking about Mike Peake or whatever is out. I don't care. Leg Show knows what I'm talking about here because I agree with your New Mexico State angle. Michigan State in football had all those players suspended. They went and beat Penn State. Everyone is going to be betting on Santa Clara. This story is a national story. Everyone's talking about this. Telling you. What if the Aggies are actually the more talented team with or without him? I think they are. And I'm getting 7. Let's go. This line might even go up. This line might even go up. I'm going to take that. I'm going to also bet that shit on the money line, plus 245. Let's go.
Hey, Colby, I'm feeling even better about my Florida pick because every single person in the chat is saying you're crazy for taking the Gators against UConn.
That line makes no sense. I tend to, look, when I first saw that, I was like, my first reaction was I got to bet UConn. Then I'm like, wait. Everyone's watched UConn. They look fucking fire this year. Why is that line that low?
Yeah.
Why? Doesn't make any sense. So you're probably going to be right. Cannot wait to watch all this action, folks. Subscribe to the College Basketball Experience. Remember, subscribe to the College Football Experience, Army and Navy, FCS playoffs, Deion Sanders at Colorado, and all these other coaching moves. We have you covered over there as well. Also, check out the College Baseball Experience with Noah Beanick. That season swings away in February, I believe. And check out the Sports Gambling Podcast and check out all of Ryan's work, the Ryan and Rush Show, the drop right behind him. You see it right there, that little flag. All right. Check it out. The NFL Gambling Podcast. Check out all of it. I mean, he hosts that as well. So check out that as well. And folks, come talk college hoops with us. You want to have some fun throughout the games? Hop in Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. There's a college basketball channel. You can talk. It's a lot of fun. Also, get the SGPN app. It's free to download in the App Store and Google Play Store. You'll see late bets. I added one today that hit, and we have all of our picks there, all of our articles. You can come play DFS with us. Give us a follow on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Come play DFS with us. A lot of fun. And, what else? I mean, let's just keep on rocking. This is great. Until tomorrow, folks, because we're here every single night of the college basketball season. This is the College Basketball Experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
got me thinking about the good shit the minute that I seen your grill again. It made me a good trip. Good dog the mind back like dog will wind that. Man, I didn't get mad when you near me hit the can back, but the comings on was strong. Now my shit's coming along, you know the song. The truth is I'm pretty much on fire again. It's heating up for real, I'm alive again. And that's the attraction factor. Vancouver, Michigan with my rap disaster. Yeah, you know you want it how you want it. No need to trip cause I got it, doggone it. It's all yours and the extra too. All the super music and the sex for who? Just get it straight cause you caught me in a good mood. Let me demonstrate what this time of year could